All right, let's dive in. The entire tech world is buzzing right now, and it's all because of one thing. xAI just dropped the announcement for Grok 4. And, xAI is not being shy about it at all. They came right out of the gate with this statement. It's an incredibly bold claim, and it really sets the stage for a model they think is going to change everything. So is this just marketing hype, or are we looking at a real breakthrough? Let's find out. So here's our game plan. We'll start with the fact that Grok 4 is here. Then we'll see how it thinks, almost like a detective. We'll peek under the hood to see how it got so smart, put it to the test with something called humanity's last exam, and finally, we'll talk about how you can actually get your hands on it. Okay, first up, Grok 4 is here, and we're told this isn't just your standard run-of-the-mill update. Nope, this is meant to be a fundamental shift in how we interact with AI, and the best part is, it's already rolling out. So what's new under the hood? Well, there's a whole suite of powerful features. We're talking native tool use, real-time search, a super-powered heavy tier, full API access for developers, and some really cool upgrades to its voice and vision. Now let's see what that all actually means in the real world. This is where things get really interesting. I think the best way to wrap your head around a term like native tool use is to just watch it solve a problem. And not just any problem, a genuinely tricky one that needs more than just spitting out facts. It needs to investigate. I mean, just look at this prompt. It's so perfectly human, right? It's vague, the timing's off, and the details are both specific and useless all at once. Crazy word puzzle about legs. This is exactly the kind of thing that would completely stump most systems. And this is what's so cool. This is Grok's thought process laid bare. It's not just guessing, it's acting like a detective. First, it investigates the request. Then it hits up X to look for chatter, and boom, it finds its first clue, mentions of the connections puzzle. So it pivots, does a quick web search to verify what that puzzle was all about, and then, armed with the right keywords, it goes back to X to find the exact post the user was thinking of. And here it is, the solution it found. It correctly identified that infamous New York Times connections puzzle. You might remember this one. It had a category that drove everyone crazy because the theme was words ending in homophones for parts of the leg. It was pretty obscure. But here's the real magic. Grok didn't just find the puzzle. It found the cultural moment the user was remembering. It located the exact viral post with this hilarious and, let's be honest, super relatable caption. That shows it doesn't just understand data, it gets context and even humor. So the big question is, how did it develop that kind of sophisticated reasoning? Well, the answer isn't just one thing, but a huge piece of the puzzle is a massive leap in how it was trained. The key concept here is reinforcement learning. If you're not familiar, it's kind of like training a dog. When it does the right thing, you give it a treat. It learns through rewards. xAI has just taken that simple idea and applied it at a scale that's hard to even imagine, rewarding the model for better and more complex thinking. And when we talk about scale, we mean it. The training happened on their custom-built computer cluster, Colossus. And get this, it used a mind-boggling 200,000 GPUs, all working in concert, just to teach Grok how to think. But it's not just about raw power. The team also made some major breakthroughs in efficiency. As you can see here, they managed to make their training process 6 times more efficient than before. That innovation was absolutely critical to making a training run of this size even remotely possible. Okay, so we've got this incredibly powerful, super efficiently trained model, but how do we actually prove it's as smart as they say? Well, that takes us into the world of AI benchmarks and some very, very difficult exams. To really push the limits, xAI is using a benchmark with a pretty dramatic name, Humanity's Last Exam. You gotta love the name. It's basically designed to be the ultimate final exam on human knowledge, testing right at the very edge of what we collectively know. And here's the headline number. Grok 4 Heavy is the first AI model ever to score over 50% on this thing. Now, 50% might not sound like a great grade, but on a test designed to be humanity's last, getting more than half the questions right is a massive, massive milestone for AI.
And this intelligence isn't just for tests.
In a practical simulation, basically an AI-run virtual vending machine business, Grok 4's performance is just staggering. Look at this table. It didn't just beat its main rival, Claude Opus 4. It blew past the average human performance by a mile. It's in a different league.
This is all really impressive, but I know what you're thinking. How can I actually use it? And that brings us to our final section, how Grok 4 is getting out into the world.
First, it's good to know there are two flavors. You've got your standard Grok 4, which is super fast and great for most things. And then you have Grok 4 Heavy. Think of this as the max power version. It chews on problems a bit longer, considers multiple angles, and is built for tasks where you need the absolute highest reliability.
And for all the developers and builders out there, the new API is a huge deal. It has a massive 256,000 token context window, so you can throw huge documents at it. Real-time search is built right in. It has top-tier security and true multimodal understanding. This is basically putting frontier AI right in the hands of people who built things.
And for the rest of us, just talking to Grok is getting a major upgrade. The new voice mode is way more responsive and natural, and now Grok has eyes. You can literally be in a voice chat, point your camera at something, and have Grok tell you about what it's seeing live in real time. So when you put it all together, Grok 4 is clearly a huge leap forward. It can reason, it can use tools, and it can interact with the world in a way that feels less like a machine and more like a partner. And that, of course, leaves us with the biggest question of all. As AI gets this good at understanding our messy, complex world, what are the truly big problems we're going to ask it to solve next?